Okay, so for my digital footprint project, I chose to look at and analyze only my Facebook because I do also have other social media accounts such as Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Pinterest, all those other types of things. But my Facebook, I've had it the longest, I guess. I've had it since October of my freshman year of high school. And my Twitter I have had for a while, but it's really just word vomit. So everything that I post is just like the name of a song or a random quote that I find really interesting or I like a lot. And then my Instagram I did have for a long time. I think I had it since the very beginning of 8th grade, if not the end of 7th grade. But I deleted my entire account at the very end of my senior year of high school and started completely over. So I really didn't have as much to go off of as my Facebook did. But my Facebook really highlights things that are more important to me in the real world, not so much online, because as we've talked about in class, we have a real life self and then an online self. And I think my Facebook definitely does a better job of portraying both of those combined. So what I did for my PDF is I basically scrolled way back into the deep realms of my Facebook, all the way back to my very first post, which I do remember making this post actually. It literally says, "Hey people," with an exclamation point. And I didn't have any friends even at the time, so I don't know who I was talking to really. But I was talking to my friends about this project because it probably took me a solid 4 hours to find different posts that accurately displayed how I've changed throughout the years, and it's almost scary the progression that you can see of how I've changed in not only my worldviews, but the way that I talk, the way that I present myself online and in person, because those I really do coincide a lot. Like, I know of people who have like one personality on one social media and another on another social media, and then are very professional on their Facebook. But my social medias really portray me 100%. I'm very confident. I'm very loud. I am not afraid to share my opinion or stay true to my morals, and I will fight for those. And so I've never really had any problem with that. But so my original posts, well, not original, but beginning posts, are like the "Hey people." For a while I did a song of the day where I would share some lyrics and then quote them. There was a lot of Taylor Swift, actually. There were some particularly embarrassing things that I found, such as a lot of me complaining about why boys don't understand or can't read minds as to when a girl likes them. There was one. Christmas Day 2010, my then boyfriend, well, obviously it's there, posted, and my comment back at my friend, that's a whole different story. Oh gosh. But I don't know, that's like who I was back then. I was very loud. I obviously wasn't very filtered, wasn't afraid to say things to people that I knew very well, and like they knew if I was serious or joking or kind of in the middle of both. There were several notes that I found, like the 11 layers one that I have on the PDF, where again it was just a bunch of questions and you would answer them about yourself and people could see them and do whatever with that information. I found that a lot of my posts towards the beginning were just like quotes from the internet or different like story things that I'd read online from Tumblr or probably Reddit or whatever. I didn't really post any pictures until like late 2011, early 2012, which would have been my going into my end of freshman year, I think. But they were just like random things, like, if you want me in your life, put me there, I shouldn't have to fight for a spot, and like different silly quotes. But I found that I didn't really post anything that was substantial at all to the real world until June 25th, 2012. I posted, I see people all the time with this coexist bumper sticker on their car, and I think it's really interesting. Like, that has a lot to do with my morals, that like everyone should get along, the whole world should be happy, world peace, blah blah blah. So I had this post and I commented and I said, like, I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks, like, everyone should get along, blah blah blah, we should live in peace. And then a lot after that, I started posting things that were a lot more meaningful to me and my real life. I probably had like probably clicked a little bit in my head that real things were a thing and I should share on my Facebook what mattered to me. So then I started posting like my opinions about things, like everyone does a big end of the year Facebook post like, oh, this happened, so grateful for the people that were there for me. And I have always been known to be very blunt, and end of 2012 I posted, I was going to write a big long speech about 2012 like everyone else, but if you don't know what I've gone through this year, we're not close enough for you to need to know. Like, that's very blunt, that's very me, that's very straight to the point, like, no fooling around, just really honest. I posted more in my notes poems. I actually have a tattoo about poetry because that's something that is very important in my life. I read a lot of poetry. I write a lot of poetry. I have several scholarships from outside sources, not Alma, that I've won from my poetry that I've written. I don't know, I have this half image of my face, which was, that was going into my senior year of high school, that people's reputation is really important to them in high school, and I never really was one of those people that falls victim to feeling like popularity was really important. I've just kind of always been myself, not really cared. Like, I've delved in and out of friendships with people for various reasons, but like what people care about me has never, or what people think about me has never been something that's important to me. So some people would say that posting that image of half my face with makeup and half without was ballsy, but to me it was like, come on guys, like, let's be real. This isn't what we all look like for real. But then, like, you can see, getting into my senior year, I posted a lot more political things, and then I shared a post about, I like made the connection of having previously in years posted my poems on Facebook. I shared a post about how I won the scholarship for my poetry. But I think what I've learned about myself is that I evolved, I guess, into the person I am now, more so like the summer between my sophomore and junior years, when I started like caring about the real world, about politics. End of my sophomore year of high school was when I became a vegetarian, and I still am. I have made posts in the past about being a vegetarian, but a lot of my Facebook posts now are political because I have very strong opinions and morals about politics and the world in general, about human trafficking, about like immigrants' rights. So that's mostly what my Facebook is now, I guess, although I made a vow to my friends the other day that I wouldn't post anything else about the election, which I think I've already broken that, but it's like literally a timeline of my life. You can see I post a lot more pictures with my friends. I joined a sorority. I got tattoos. This daisy tattoo actually was my 4th tattoo. I don't know why I didn't share the other posts about my tattoos. But what I really learned about myself and my digital footprint is that my Facebook really is just a complete works of the last 6 years of my life. It really highlights what's important to me in politics, in morals, in my own diet, in my friends, in what I like to do, and it really shows how I've changed over the last 6 years and what about me has stayed exactly the same. So I think my Facebook does do a really good job of representing who I am completely as a person.